Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing where I'm gonna talk a lot of historical context within this video. So, last one, he did a bit of glazing, so I'm gonna expect that out of this one too. But let's get into it. Lincoln, like, Lincoln actually deserves the glaze. Like, he's pretty much always top three presidents no matter what, and he deserves that spot. But let's see.
The Republican Party formed in this shack in 1854
Okay, the audio is god awful. But, well, I can deal with that.
as the anti-slavery party, but later it would be better known as the party of your boy, Honest Abe.
Mhm.
We freed the slaves and won the war. Then I took my wife to a play in hopes to get laid
God.
after, but a shitty actor cock blocked me with a pistol.
Yeah, that is true. He got shot at the movie theater, and let me tell you this, in a odd in a kind of odd fate in history, Abraham Lincoln's son fell down and was about to get ran over by a train, and then John Will Booth's brother actually saved his son from dying. So it's kind of a weird way of actually fixing what he did, not in actuality, but like that was not only noble, but that was also such an extremely rare occurrence that, to be honest, should have never happened. So W on John Will Booth's brother, as he's actually pretty cool for that. And Abraham Lincoln's son thankfully got to live. And let's see.
Republicans dominated the North, which was always the industrial.
I wish I could tell who this was. Looking at him, I do not know. But yeah, it was true. At the North, they were dominating mostly. It was because the Industrial Revolution was made so much more money than like slavery, to the point where slavery was not viable for growing the economy anymore. So what happened was, after you got rid of slavery, they would start building these big businesses, make a lot of money. Like, the treatment of blacks was still like, I would say it was better than before, but still not amazing. And things like the Industrial Revolution was a good way of phasing out slavery even more than it really would have been if, people haven't started it. Let's go on.
Hub of the nation. So naturally, they gained a more free market, get your shit together
Mhm.
stance.
Oh, that's Theodore Roosevelt. I don't even have to look. Yeah, Theodore Roosevelt, easily one of the greatest Republican presidents ever. Like, he deserves to be on a spot next to Lincoln, easily. The thing is, Republicans had these two really, really great presidents. And I'll tell you about the worst one a little later. But as of now, these two guys deserved the spot they were left in, and 100% were instrumental in American history.
We overwhelmingly supported the 19th Amendment, allowing women to vote. We dominated elections until my cousin rode to power on his Hot Wheels. Then came the Depression.
Then there's the Depression. So before FDR took over, as I said, and now here, this is the part where Herbert Hoover basically didn't do anything to help Americans during the Great Depression. And in some cases, he might have actually made it worse. And this is what led to FDR to be put as president. And the thing is, he at least had a reason for people to vote for him, whereas Herbert Hoover's reason was, you guys are just going to have to deal with it until it gets fine. And that's the biggest problem. At the time, you actually needed to help people, and FDR's decision to do what he did, like, was at least a solution that helped people and brought back faith into America. Even if in the long term it wouldn't be the best solution, hey, at least it was a solution that somebody thought of that at least did something.
People lost trust in markets, so I wheeled in to drastically expand communism across the country, and Democrats
Yep.
been hooked ever since. Then we passed the Civil
Oh
Rights Act
god.
of 19.
Yep, as I said, because JFK died, sadly, a lot of this stuff couldn't have been passed as quickly. I believe if JFK was still there, a lot more civil rights stuff would have been done and far faster, but sadly he was gone, and good job on them for at least bringing things, but it sucked.
64 to say we're sorry for slavery, but it was actually majority Democrats that blocked or filibustered the bill.
All right, we're all still super pissed and racist about this bill, but now we're all going to switch parties, so actually Republicans are the evil racist ones.
And this is the thing. A lot of people like to use the party switch as a way to make their party look better than it, look better without taking accountability for things that their party has done in the past. I'd say rejection of history really is never a good thing. Acknowledge people that fucked up and acknowledge people that actually did great and helped your party. But yeah, at this point, a lot of them were, parents or even grandparents of a lot of people. So this generation of people was slowly dying, which is also another reason why, the KKK members basically phase out of existence. Like today, there are a couple legit members, but it's so rare to the point you'll never actually see a literal KKK member in front of you unless you search for it.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You're super pissed. Republicans overwhelmingly supported the Civil Rights Bill, but you now want to be Republicans.
Correct, but don't forget, Republicans now want to be the evil racist party, and that's exactly how we'll teach it at universities around the country.
Oh,
I hate
God.
to break it to you, but no matter what your comrade professor told you, the big party switch never happened. Democrats still ruled the South until the early 1990s. Voters simply changed preferences, and the South became more economically inclined.
And that's what happened because voters were changing preferences. Like, you see a lot of big cities are overwhelmingly Democrat, while a bunch of more rural areas are Republican. And the thing that happened was Republicans realized that they were losing a lot of popularity. So a lot of the places that, used to have more of those KKK members, they did have to implement things that they liked in order to get them as a voter base. Because the Democrats kind of abandoned those people completely in exchange for policies like FDR, whereas the Republicans took them in, which in the long term helped, but in the short term, there were a lot of racists that eventually did come in because of it. But they didn't really have much of a choice as they were losing popularity at the time. And then this is Ronald Reagan. He's definitely one of the better, more impactful Republicans as well. But yeah, like the fall of the USSR, one of the best economies ever. Like, that was Reagan. Reagan did pretty well. Before I forget, I have to put Warren G. Harding here. I would consider him easily the worst Republican president. What he did was basically, he put friends that obviously did not deserve the positions, that obviously were not fit for the job. And what he did was he let them run loose. He was not really a president. Other people just kind of did what they wanted, and he just let it all happen and did not care at all what would happen to the American people. It's pretty much the most corrupt White House, where a bunch of people who don't care about the country just ran loose, did whatever they wanted, took from the American people, and by the end of it, the country was worse than it was when his presidency started. I would consider him easily the worst Republican, Mike. It was bad. Thank God they got rid of him. He did horrible damage to them as well. Here's a more recent bad one, which is George Bush. His first presidency was pretty good. What he did during 9/11 was very good in terms of helping the country. How he basically abused people's patriotism in order to start the Iraq war was horrible. Like, he used patriotism as an excuse. There was no evidence that they had anything to do with 9/11. There was none of that. And Bush started a war. He was there for 1 month in. Then he said, oh, they won the war. Then the war lasted until Obama's term in 2010 when he finally ended it. That war did irreparable damage to the Republicans. But yeah, George Bush took advantage of people's patriotism, and that's also another shitty move done. But yeah, these guys would have 3 really good figures, I would say, for the party, which was obviously Abraham Lincoln, then it was Theodore Roosevelt, then it was Reagan. But yeah, the parties never switched. They grew with the person in charge that really affected the party. And these guys are what the Republican Party wants to be, but sometimes is not able to actually meet. But yeah, this video did a bit of glazing, and because I already watched the first one, I could tell it was gonna be it. So there you go. That's that one done. But yeah, anyways, that was this channel. I don't think I'm gonna do more reactions from this video, but I don't know whether it was his personal bias or if it was the AI just made the video that way. I'm gonna have to guess it was personal bias. There were obviously good Republican presidents, good Democrat presidents. And the thing about this is, my favorite president is George Washington, who was against creating political parties. So that's why I can say one president from this party is good, but this president from the party is also bad, because I don't really care about what title they have as long as they were fit for the position at the time or fit what the people needed at the time. I consider them a good president. Like, everyone has bad actors, everything has bad history. The further back you go, the more fucked up things get. Yeah, so that was all.